Good evening, and welcome to the Mingles of Evil Life. Thanks for joining me tonight. And tonight, our video is going to be a short one. But meanwhile, I wait while people connect. I'm going to announce that we have a new page, a new Facebook page of our community, Evil Life 360, which I'm hoping that you like and share so that the messages that I share here with you can be of benefit to many people. So please help me give a share, give a like to Evil Life 360 page, where we're going to be moving, right? This live, because I've been doing this live here for 2.5 years now in my personal page, my personal Facebook page, but it's time for us to have our own space, and that's why this community is gonna move over to the Evil Life page. So I please ask you to share and to like my page. And tonight, I have to say that this week I have been dealing with difficult cases to process, right? Because of the patient's young age, I would say, and because of their diagnosis. I want to say that we didn't come here to suffer, and we're not a diagnosis. Okay, we just need, as I always speak about here, we just need to understand how we're made and understand the divine order in which we were made, okay? And I come to tell you something that I perhaps said before here, and it is that in this energetic universe in which we live, it is not enough to understand energy through the study of universal law, right? We need to apply, not only understand energy, but apply these universal laws to our lives. Because this understanding brings a lot of healing. And in my personal experience, for those of you who don't know me or perhaps don't know my story, I'm going to share a little bit today. In 2018, I was diagnosed with an ovary tumor. And during that experience of that year that I went through, I have to say that I'm totally healed. I don't have nothing. I don't have nothing at all. Anything at all. Through that process, I came to experience what we know as a spiritual awakening, which is, I've defined here before what a spiritual awakening is. And a spiritual awakening is when your brain wakes up to the reality of that you have an energetic or a soul or a spirit side that is far more, how can I say, wiser, and that has much more information about yourself than the one that the brain has. Okay, so there is a reconciliation or a conciliation of the brain and the soul, and the brain becomes aware of this, and becomes aware not only in a simple way, in a simple manner, but in the manner that you know that you are energy, and that energy cannot be destroyed. So if energy cannot be destroyed, and we are energy, and everything in the universe is energy, what happens to my energy, right? So that energy cannot be destroyed. And just like energy, you cannot see atoms, your spirit, your soul, you cannot see either, because they are the same. Talking about spirit and talking about energy is exactly the same thing. Okay? It's not a woo-woo thing to use the word spirit as so many of us uh, are used to. But we can substitute the word spirit for the word energy wherever we see it. And they are exactly the same. This is why when you go to a bar and drink, and I've said this before, when we go to a bar and drink, you know that the bar, they put spirits to the beverages, right? And it is because you have the sugar rise, makes you energized, makes you happier, makes you whatever, right? You feel a boost. So this is why energy and spirit are exactly the same thing, okay? And having said that, in my case, I underwent a spiritual awakening. My brain became aware of this. And now it is a knowing, because that pineal gland which we have in our brain is our antenna. And our antenna is always receiving and sending vibrational frequency constantly. And since our pineal gland is directly connected to the energetic and magnetic field that we have in the outside, because although we don't see it, everything has energy and it's vibrating. So we're receiving those energy vibes as also we are broadcasting. So we have direct contact to retrieve whatever information there is in this energetic field, okay? So that is what happened to me. And from that information that I received, that was divine information, because when we are connected to that side, what happens is that we are able to, what they call channeling, right? You are able to retrieve, like if we were connecting to an internet, we're able to retrieve information that perhaps we didn't know about before, especially information about ourselves and about life and about everything, because all information is there, okay? So we start receiving all this information and answers to questions that we've always had about ourselves and about life in general. And all this is answered. And this is also why, for those that know me, I've been dedicated all my life to working as an interior designer, and also as a events coordinator, planner, and event decorator, right? So I changed after this event in my life. I changed all my profession and changed it, because I know this information was not for me alone. It was for me to share with the world, because in the same way I have benefited from it, and it has brought a lot of well-being and balance to my life, and not only in terms of my health, but in terms of my personal life, right, and life situations. It has brought a lot of balance to myself. I had to share this with people, and I was compelled to start this Facebook lives, if I may say, these videos. And I want to share the first thing that happened to me, because, as I said, in my case, I was fused with the spiritual information and the scientific information, and how these two were brought together so that I would understand the infinite cycle of life, the infinite life cycle, with clarity, okay? And the first thing that was brought to me, one of the first things, was Genesis 1:1, that I want to read it. 1 to 3. And it says, in the beginning, God created heaven and earth. And the earth was formless and empty, and darkness was upon the face of the abyss. And the Spirit of God moved over the face of the waters. And God said, let there be light. And there was light. And so, this was brought to me. There I could understand, again, the fusion of science and of spiritual. Up to this time, I had believed all my life that God, or whatever was God, the Creator, had created water. And then my attention was brought specifically to the second verse, right? That says that the face of the abyss and the Spirit of God moved over the face of the waters. So the Spirit of God and waters already existed. It doesn't say that God created the waters. It says that the Spirit of God and it was moving over or hovering over the waters. So I became aware that water already existed. And it was in the fusion of the Spirit, which means energy, as I've explained before. Energy moved over the face of the waters. And this fusion of these two ignited, let there be light. And there was light. And light was formed. Creation was formed. And then my attention was brought to Genesis 1:27, where it says, thus God created man in his image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. He created them. So it was brought to my attention, right, that the image of God was not what I had all this time made him to be, like in the human form, right? Because we tend to think that God is human, and we tend to personify God, and that God was light. As he said, let there be light, and there was light. He was energy. And that we were created in that same image. And that when he created male and female, this was referring to our building block, the atom, which has positive and negative charge in its making, right? In its construction, as we know. And why do I say that? Because as we know, the male, right, is the giver, is the one that gives to the woman. So that resembles in the positive energy, which is the giving energy, or the positive charge, right, is the one that is the male energy. And the receiver energy is, or the receptor energy, is the negative charge in the atom. So all this time, in the creation, in the first verses of the Bible, we were being told that we were created in energy. And this was huge for me, right? Was huge for me. Because as we know, energy cannot be destroyed, as I said before. So what happens? What happens with us, right? And many things after that were brought to my attention, and so I understand all this order, or all this divine order that we need to understand life in. But most of all, I'm always talking about how we are immersed, right, in an atomic universe. And being the atom, the building block of everything that exists, human life will never, ever respond initially to a biological, physiological, or psychological trigger, because for all these three that I've just mentioned to exist, the energetic one had to exist first. So, the real cause of any kind of ailments in our life, any kind, be it health, be it situations that we live, right, is because of an energetic trigger. That in humans, I'm always explaining here, this translates into our emotions, our energy in motion, and our feelings, okay? Energy in motion, which are the common grounds between the spiritual and the physical, because this is the only thing that we experience on both planes, our emotions. These are the only ones that we take with us. Okay? So, the universe will always respect and will follow immutably the order of creation. So if you're listening to me today and you're undergoing illness or any difficult situation in your life, you should learn and put more effort into learning about energy and the laws, the universal law that governs them, and how to apply them to your life. It is convenient for all of us because this is the nature of the material, the divine material we are made out of. And we should finally know, and not use it in the wrong way that we've been using it for so many centuries, okay? And be able to understand it, finally understand it, and apply universal laws so that we can live healthy and balanced lives. So with that, I leave you today. I said it's a short one, but first I want to ask you to please like and share our Evo Life Facebook page. And because soon, I invite you to follow us over there, because soon we're going to be doing all these lives, which I've been doing in my personal page for 2 years and a half now. But it is time for us to move to our own space and have our Evo Life 360 page, which is now open for you to like and share. And I ask you to please help me spread this information so that many other people can benefit from it, okay? As well, I want to announce that also we're going to be opening up, soon coming, right, our Evo Life 360 YouTube channel, where lots of other content that we are unable to bring through Facebook is going to be shared, okay? So I have a lot of plans, so please stay tuned so that you don't miss out on all that we're doing over there. And it is called Evo Life. Evo Life comes from evolution, which is transformation and growth, right? And the word life, because life never ends. Life is eternal. It's a constant cycle that never ends. And the 360 represents that it's gonna, these teachings that I do here, or this wisdom that I share, is gonna impact every single aspect. It's gonna transform every single aspect of our lives. As it has done for me, it will do with you if you put interest in it, and I suggest you do. Okay, so as always, sending you love and light, and thanking you in advance for sharing and liking so that many others can benefit from this information Till next week and see you here. Bye bye in the Mingles of Evo Life. Bye bye. Love and light.